Hi, today we're going to take a look at image retouching and removing blemishes. So removing blemishes allows the viewer to see a better framed portrait of their loved one. And in this case, it's our little baby here, baby John. So we're going to take baby John and we are going to do some correction to remove some blemishes and brighten the baby's eyes, as well as remove some of the skin blemishes. So upon taking an overall look at this, some of the things that I'll be using is the spot healing brush, healing areas, using the patch tool, as well as our dodge tool, the magic wand, and the lasso tool. So we're going to take a look at the eyes first. These are the windows of the soul. And I'm going to take our dodge tool. I've got this set at 49 pixels at 14% with a fairly low exposure rate. And when I click on the image, it'll say that it needs to rasterize. I'm just going to go in here and bring this shade up till it's more white. And I'm going to just do an overall kind of a couple loops around the baby's eyes to bring up some of that color. So I start small. I could increase this exposure a little bit to increase that, so it's a little bit faster to bring up the color, but I tend to go work in smaller increments, because if you go too high too fast, it really doesn't blend well. So I do a softer rate. I'm gonna rate of exposure. I'm gonna zoom in here. I'll use the magic wand tool, and then holding the shift button down, I can kind of use this lasso tool to select this area. Because it's got this strange highlight from a light from above, I'm going to color pick some color here. Use the brush with a slight 24% opacity. Hardness is low. Brush size is fairly big, and I'm just going to bring color in here, shade that up. Then I'm going to deselect this and use my clone stamping tool, using the option click on the clone stamping, 20 pixels, 5% hardness, opacity at 92. I can go in here and kind of blend this in. The reason why I get a base color is it helps with the initial color blending it in. So if you miss a spot, they sort of blend a little bit better. So here I'm just going to make some corrections here. These line patterns look strange because of the way the eye is set up. So I'm going to blend or smudge size, say 19, light hardness, minimize the strength, and you can kind of blend these colors in a little bit better. And I'll stamp kind of from afar. In some cases, painting out painting these shapes in is not a bad idea either. So I'm just going to try to build this color in. It's kind of like a black here. It's too dense. And I'm doing this from really far away. When you get up closer, it becomes a little bit more extreme. And then I'm just going to put some of these lines in. Color pick. Maybe get some of these patterns as well and smudge some of this color out. Because I copied from here with the clone tool, those colors jumped. As well. So I'm going to just lighten some of this up. Clone this area. Clean that area back up. Check out the other eye. So this is one way to clean up an image, is the clone stamping tool and stamping some of this tonality in. I'm not concerned about the reflections in the baby's eye because that's very natural. It's just that strange light that was above there was just a little too much. So I'm just gonna lightly blend that in. It's very important to have color or lightness. So now, because I removed that lightness out, I can always lighten it back up to give it that milky reflection, or even highlight from this area and bring that in if I wanted to. So I may go back into that eye. If I take a look at some of these spots on here, can use like the spot healing brush, and this is sort of like a content aware, picking up areas from around the skin. So I go in at different angles to bring in that tonality. So it will remove a blemish like that. Things like this, maybe skin rosacea. We have the healing brush tool. You can apply that. It looks kind of choppy there, so I'm going to take that off. I can go a little bit bigger. I also can set the brush size. So I can make it a little bit bigger, a little bit less hard, and more spacing. And you can see that it's making changes. If I wanted to, I could use the clone stamp, and I'll make this kind of a bigger brush. Take a measurement from out here and lightly, let's get a big brush, kind of go over this area. So it's just like a soft change taking place on this picture. So with dealing with a client, if you're really going to take the time on this, and I'm going to smudge this, big brush, very soft, strength is low. You can kind of blend some of these even skin pieces out that look irregular. So this is a real slow process, but you can do more blending. On this particular one, I'll show you the clone stamp. So I'll make this a little bit smaller. Bring that up. Take your stamp tool from a very close tonality, and you can kind of blend that right out. So I still am like old school with my clone stamp tool. I like to clean up these spots with this particular tool, kind of my go-to tool. Blending, as I was showing you, can drastically change your image. So you can see now I've gotten rid of some of those skin follicles. I can no longer see those. So we've addressed the eyes. We've taken care of some skin blemishes, and we've made some improvements to this picture that I feel make it just a little bit more nicer for a portrait. So I have this burn in here. Loosely go over that, it kind of cleans that up. But that is one way to do a image retouching, restoring this picture for kind of like a restoration or cleaning it up. I'm going to give this a name. I'll save it as our baby John. All right, that was my tutorial. Thank you.